Good morning, Botai. There's a fascinating Gemara in Masechet Shabbat of Kuf Memhe. The Gemara says that lo alenu, if a fire breaks out on Shabbat, a person is not allowed to put out the fire. It's asur on Shabbat, and even if a person sees chas v'shalom, the house going up in flames, the Gemara says it's still asur to put it out. Not only that, the Gemara says that it's asur even to ask a goy to put out the fire. The reason for that, says the Ran, is because we're concerned that if we allow a person to ask a goy, he's going to be bahul al mamono. He's going to be very, he's going to get panicked over his money, and he's going to come to do it himself. That is in general. Now, there are certain exceptions to this rule. For instance, the Shulchan Aruch, Maran Shulchan Aruch, and Siman Shin Lamed Dalet brings down, in the name of a Gaon, that if there are Kitvei Kodesh, if there are Sfarim, Chumashim, Gmarot inside the house, and as a result of the fire, it's going to come to disgrace the Sfarim inside the house, it is permissible to ask a goy to put out the fire. Not only that, as a result of this halacha, the Sefer Misgiret HaShulchan says that there's another interesting halacha. In every Jewish home, you're allowed to ask a goy to put out the fire. Why? Every Jewish home has mezuzot. Mezuzot qualify as Kitvei Kodesh, so you're allowed to ask a goy. Not only that, the Gaon of Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, in a Sefer Minchat Shlomo adds, he says where there's tremendous financial loss, a person's allowed to put out the fire in an indirect fashion, which means instead of throwing water directly on the fire, you can throw the water up, and then as a result of gravity, it's going to bring it down and put it on the fire. Now, interestingly, it seems that the minhag nowadays is that when there's a fire, the fire department is called. Not only in America where the fire department is goyim, even in Eretz Yisrael where the fire department is Jews, it's still customary that anytime there's a fire, you call the mechabe'ish, you call the firefighters. So how is that permissible on Shabbat based on what we learned? So there is an interesting psak by a Gaon of Nisim Karelitz, Zecher Tzadik Livracha. He writes in a Sefer Chut Shani that nowadays the halacha is a little bit different. Nowadays it's not just primitive houses that they used to have. Nowadays there's gas lines and electric lines and things of that nature. Fire spreads very quickly. And chas v'shalom, obviously, when the Gemara spoke about not putting out the fire, it's talking about when there was just a financial loss. But obviously, if there's a pikuach nefesh situation, then there's no question that you put out the fire. Nowadays, any given fire that chas v'shalom ever breaks out can very, very quickly lead to a situation of pikuach nefesh as a result of the gas, electric, things of that nature. And therefore, he says it's mutar to even put out the fire yourself, or even call the fire department and put it out. The Aruch HaShulchan, also in Shin Lamed Dalet, says something similar. He says the Chachamim were only gozer when it's damage, when it's financial loss to the person himself. But anytime the fire is going to cause damage to the public, he says it's mutar even for a Jew to put out the fire. Nowadays, our houses are built in very close proximity to one another, and we're close to the public domain, such that not putting out the fire can lead very quickly to a loss to for the public as well, such that putting out the fire will be mutar, and that's why the minhag is anytime there's a fire, it is permissible nowadays to call the fire department right away. Lo alenu v'lo alechem. Have a wonderful day.